Yeah.
I, uh, I had some of my friends speak English very fluently. When I heard they are speaking, I know they are using very similar structure.
Yeah.
They can talk smoothly and very fluently. Yes, for me, even I know they are similar sentence, I can speak out loud.
Yeah. It's the problem of most students. Because I would say over and over again, you have to write diaries. There are people who got the skill without writing diaries. Yes, they got it, but mostly it's not for majority of people. And it's always safe to assume that you are in the majority. It's always safe to assume that. So that's why you need to write diary. When you write diaries, use only simple sentences. Now, the difference between my experience and some other students' experience, some other as in my friends, my peers' experience, was that when I write diaries, like when I write something, not just diary, anything at all, even in essay or whatever, when I write something, I may not know a lot of structures. I may not know a lot of new usages. But I make sure that everything I write is correct in grammar. So what does it mean? It means whenever I want to say something that is beyond my range, beyond my knowledge of grammar, I will make sure I will use simpler format and get the job done. And because I force that, my foundation grammar becomes more and more stronger. And because it gets stronger, later on, like a few years later, everything I put on top of that becomes fluent. That's the difference. And I don't use, okay, let's say I never had a person to check my writings, right? Some people do this mistake of like learning some words or new vocabularies or phrasal verbs or whatever. They want to use it. So there's a notion that when you use it, you remember it more, right? So it's good, but it's also dangerous. What if you understood poorly? This is a new usage, so maybe you experience it for the first time, and then you are not really sure how it works because you haven't encountered it with enough repetition. The frequency is not enough. But you think, okay, this is nice, this works like that. You have this assumption that, okay, I want to use that. And then when you write essay or whatever, you try to put it. You don't know how to check it because you don't have enough exposure with different contexts. So you think this is how it works, so you use it and then you show it to the teacher. The teacher say, no, it doesn't work like that, it's wrong. And then let's say there is no one to point that out. You're going to think that it's okay. And then you're going to use it again, the wrong way. So practice makes perfect, yes, but perfect practice makes perfect. If you practice it repeatedly for a wrong format, then it's going to be perfectly wrong. Right? So that's the mistake of using something you're not sure of. So that mindset gives you a lot more mistakes because this is one usage of words we're talking about, right? If you know a lot more like that and you're going to use these things in your writing, you're not sure about that, nobody's checking you, then you keep writing that later on, years later, you think that is true, your brain is accustomed to that, so this is like this kind of thinking, you assume that and then you write it. But then in your exam you get low marks or the teacher says, no, this is not right, then all of a sudden, okay, well my grammar is very bad. You feel that way. That's why it is so important to master the simple sentences. Simple sentences, simple thoughts. If you have done it enough, you can move on to other things. step by step, and then it's easier in the long run. So that's the difference. I wrote like a diary for about a year, I think a year and a half, but during that period, I never wrote something that I never knew for sure. Everything I write, I was sure it's correct. Maybe a little bit of preposition error, that's fine, that's still okay. But structure, in terms of structure, I don't make that kind of mistake. That's important.
So the point is to write down and make revision. Okay.
Yeah, and plus, whenever you want to write more complicated thoughts, try to break it down into simple format. Because this is about practicing for speaking skill. This is not about going for IELTS exam. If you're practicing for the exam, that's a different purpose. Academic writing is a different purpose. That's nothing to do with speaking. For speaking, you need to master simple sentences.